What would your life be like if you reached your goals? What's up, guys? I'm Mike Gastin, and I want to share an approach to goal setting that will change your life. Now, this is for real. This approach has been a great help to me and has the potential to transform your life too. So what is it that you want to achieve? Do you wish you could quit your job and become your own boss? Maybe you want to get debt-free, or do you want to get into better shape? Maybe land bigger clients. Every single one of these goals has the potential to change one's life, and yet for most of us, reaching goals can seem hard, and our attempts more often than not result in failure. Well, I've got good news for you. I've found an approach to goal setting that's really effective, and I'm going to share it with you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that describes goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. I love SMART goals because everything about them is designed to set you up for success. Now, I'm going to break down each element, and at the end of this video, you'll have a clear sense of how they work, and you'll be ready to start setting your own SMART goals. First, SMART goals must be specific. This means goals like, I want to get fit, or I want to own a business, or I want to retire young. They need a little work because they are not very specific. The more specific you make a goal, the easier it will be to achieve it. A good way to make a goal more specific is to break it down into a series of objectives. Let's say your goal is to become a published writer. A fine goal, but again, not very specific. I would define it more clearly by creating objectives. Knowing I want to be a published writer, I might decide my objective is initially to write my first book by the end of the year. Maybe my second objective is to self-publish that book on Amazon. These are more specific and much more actionable. Now, having specific goals is critical. You are moving your goals from abstract concepts, something our minds struggle to act on, to concrete objectives, which are much easier to execute. Next, SMART goals must be measurable. This is important for two reasons. First, when something is measurable, it's very easy to break down into more manageable pieces. But second, a measurable goal is trackable, helping us to see our progress, which provides important feedback and motivation as we work towards success. For example, the goal of getting healthy is fine in general terms, but it's not very specific. If part of being healthy is getting your weight within an ideal range, you can say something like, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's both specific and measurable, because you can easily measure how you're doing. Now, the nice thing about knowing you want to lose 20 pounds is you can then break that down even more. You can say your goal is to lose 1 pound a week until you lose a total of 20. And losing 1 pound a week is pretty manageable, and you can start putting together a game plan. Maybe cut out late night snacks, or even better yet, restrict your alcohol intake. In addition, you can very easily keep track, weighing yourself once or twice a week to see how you're doing. Once the pounds start coming off, you'll find more motivation to stick to your plan. Next, SMART goals need to be attainable. Now, your goal can be specific and measurable, but not attainable. For instance, bench pressing 3,000 pounds is both specific and measurable, but since the current world record is 739.6 pounds, the odds are you're never going to attain 3,000. Now, back to our weight loss example, shedding 20 pounds is pretty attainable. It's a relatively low goal. In fact, setting low goals is a pro gamer move. You see, setting high goals creates a high barrier to entry, meaning the tougher the goal, the harder you're making it for yourself to do the activity. Let's say you commit to working out 2 hours a day. Sounds impressive, right? Think of what a beast you'll be. But in reality, you're going to avoid doing it. I mean, 2 hours is a huge lift, and you're going to find all kinds of excuses as to why you'll do it later, until, of course, the day is gone and you have failed. Low goals, on the other hand, set you up for success. For example, with my writing, I used to set goals to write 500 or 1,000 words a day. Now, obviously, 1,000 words a day is a lift. It's a big commitment. I would do it for days on end, but often I would just write useless content because I was just trying to hit my word count. If 500 words is also a bit of a commitment, and that too would end in disappointment as I would blow off my writing. Honestly, when I set my daily writing goal to 250 words, everything changed. At first, it seems silly to set such a low goal. What am I going to accomplish writing 250 words a day? Why even bother? But here's what I discovered. I rarely ever stop at just 250 words and end up writing much more. 250 words a day is such an easy goal that I don't have any resistance. I don't procrastinate, and I even look forward to doing it. I sit down and start writing, and before I know it, I've hit my goal. And at 250 words, it takes just enough effort so that by the time I hit the goal, I'm in the flow, and I just keep going, often writing exponentially more each day. Setting a low goal is counterintuitive, but believe me, it works like a charm. Next, SMART goals must be relevant. Your goals should be relevant to you and the direction you want your life to go. This might seem obvious, but often we fail at a goal or objective because at the time we set it, we thought it was something we wanted. But once we get started working on it, we lost our desire for it. Now, this is because we didn't spend enough time thinking it through. Now, I like to ask myself why a few times to make sure I am setting the right goal. For instance, a client might tell me their goal is to get more engagement on social media. I could just promise to help make that happen. But instead, I will often ask, why? Well, we want to raise brand awareness, they might answer. I'll say, why is that? Well, we're experiencing a slump in sales, and we think awareness will help fix that. Now I'm at the heart of the matter. After going through this process and identifying a need for increased sales, I'll recommend a totally different goal than social media engagement. I'll suggest a program that will directly drive revenue. And you can bet my client will be committed all the way through, as it will be clear how relevant the work is to their company's needs and direction. I mean, can you imagine how uninspired my client would be if I just jumped into driving engagement and after 6 months, there was still no bump in sales? I think paying my invoices would be a bit of a lift. Now, make sure to ask yourself if your goal is relevant. If you're not sure, ask yourself why a few times until you think you've gotten to the root of what you're trying to accomplish. If you do this and can't get to a satisfactory answer, don't be afraid to park this goal on the shelf. You can always revisit it later and decide if it's something that you want to pursue. Now last, SMART goals must be time-bound. This means that you should apply some kind of time limit to your goals. Doing so creates a sense of urgency and helps you avoid the trap of thinking that you can put off working on your goal to some other time. And we all know what happens when you do that. A good example would be setting aside $10,000 by the end of the year. Knowing this, you would then develop a plan to put about $200 a week into your savings account. Again, the time frame should be reasonable. It can be a daily goal, like a writer hitting a word count before lunch, or it can be longer term, like running a marathon by your next birthday. Regardless, adding a time frame to your goals will help you keep focused and motivated. And there you have it. If you truly want to transform your life, use the SMART goal methodology. Your goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. If you make sure they meet these criteria, you are going to be significantly more successful. And don't forget, success breeds success. Accomplishing one goal will give you the drive and mindset to accomplish subsequent ones. Now guys, I hope this was helpful to you. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor and hit that like button. Also, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, wealth creation, and living life on your own terms, I encourage you to subscribe. Each week I put out videos to help you transform your life and the world around you. Guys, don't forget, I love you all, and I will catch you in the next video.